Watch any Hollywood movie that has a librarian in the cast, and the actress playing the part probably isn't going to look anything like Alexandria Daddario or Jennifer Lawrence either. Far from it. No, think Rosie O'Donnell or Joy Behar. That would be more like it. Now, it's a fact that movies have not been very kind to librarians over the years. Having Rosie O'Donnell or Joy Behar in your face demanding that you be quiet in your local library is about as scary as any zombie movie I can think of. There's even a documentary about libraries in the movies. In this documentary, it says that the movies portray librarians as meek, timid, unassertive. It complains about the stereotyping of librarians, too. It says that female movie librarians are all too often portrayed as spinsters and eggheads, women who are usually prim and unmarried and introverted. Now, I prefer the vision of Weird Al Yankovic when it comes to portraying librarians. Weird Al made a film called UHF, and parts of it are very funny. He has a character in the film named Conan the Librarian. Now, Conan the Librarian is, of course, a takeoff of Arnold Schwarzenegger, with all the muscles and the sword, too, from Conan the Barbarian. Now, Conan the Librarian, he gets very angry with a customer who doesn't know the Dewey Decimal System. And he's even less happy with another one who's late returning a book. He slices him in two with his sword. But today, you can forget about all those awful stereotypes from the past because the American Library Association is making it clear that they no longer apply. No, they and their new president, Emily Drabinsky, are taking a sword to everything you have ever thought about librarians. Emily, that's a great name for a librarian, isn't it? But don't let the name fool you. Emily is not meek or mild or even the least bit repressed when it comes to books or sex or ideology, especially ideology. And she isn't afraid to tell you what she thinks her role is as president of the American Library Association. You see, Emily has a lot more in common with Karl Marx than Emily Dickinson, and she's on a mission. She sent out a tweet recently that described herself as a Marxist lesbian, and she said that libraries should use queer theory to catalog books. Now, I'm pretty sure that Karl Marx never heard of queer theory, and if he did, he might have decided to be a capitalist. Now, I don't know much about queer theory either and how it applies to cataloging books, but doing it apparently eradicates the traditional family. Now, we know that the radical left has been at war with the traditional family for many years, but never has it been this open. Emily is a committed Marxist, and she's committed to the goals of undermining the West by getting rid of the traditional family and other values so that the Marxist promise of a utopian society can be achieved. Now, Marxism has never worked anywhere it's been tried, and I don't know if adding queer theory to the mix is going to make it work any better. Now, a group of state legislators in Idaho are promoting the idea of public and school libraries banning the American Library Association. They should probably be trying to ban the American Federation of Teachers, too. Given the fact that we live in Massachusetts, it's highly unlikely that any of our state legislators will be trying to opt out of the ALA. In fact, I'm pretty sure that they'll be writing legislation praising Emily for being a brave, marginalized woman. And I'm sure that if they have their way, our state legislators will be adding Marxism to the list of marginalized groups, too. It will now be LBGTQIA plus commies. Now, thankfully, our Pembroke Library does not seem to appear to be followers of ALA President Emily Drabinsky. I'd like to see our library trustees put out a statement making that official, but the fact that our public library is free of identity politics is something that we should be happy with. But I am not happy with all of the Marxist ideology in places like the American Library Association and the American Federation of Teachers. These organizations control the books and other materials our children are seeing. And the fact that Marxist ideology is promoted by their leadership is very disturbing. Sane people would never let someone like Emily Drabinsky run their organization. So we can only surmise that the ALA is going in a very bad direction, just like the AFT. At the very least, these organizations should be ignored for promoting anti American values. Because, let's face it, when Weird Al Yankovic is the rational person in the room when compared to the leaders of the American Library Association or the American Federation of Teachers, it's time for a change.